Welcome again to those who just joined us. And without wasting any more time, I am now leaving the floor to our panelists for the presentation. Enjoy this webinar and see you later.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Florencia. As she mentioned, my name is Kristen Kelly. I'm going to share my screen here. And so today we are talking about career boosting opportunities at a top university in California, that is UC Irvine. So while we have many programs here, we're going to talk about the ones that are specifically aimed for helping your career and professional life here. So who we are, as Florencia mentioned, my name is Kristen Kelly. I am the marketing manager of our international programs. Jay Daniarova is our manager of the professional internship experience program. There she is. And our student alumni, Axel Martinez, who will be joining us, is going to be able to share his personal experience in these programs and answer questions for you specifically. So this is our agenda today. I'm going to tell you a little bit about our school as a whole. If you haven't heard of University of California, Irvine before, I'm going to tell you about the career enhancing academic programs that we offer that help lead to the internship program. You will then hear about the internship experience program from Jay. Then you will hear from our alumni, Axel, and then we will have an open question and answer session for everybody. So a little bit about us, the University of California, Irvine. If you have not heard of us before, we are part of the University of California system. So this is a system of, I think, 9 or 10 different schools. So if you have heard of UCLA, UC Berkeley, UC San Diego, these are our sister campuses. We are all different campus locations of the University of California. As you can see on our map there, we are in Southern California. We are located on the coast. We're about 3 miles from the beach. And we're basically right in between Los Angeles and San Diego. So those are actually frequent weekend trips for our students. We also are in the same county as Disneyland, and actually a weekend drive away from places like Las Vegas, Death Valley, a lot of other sites that a lot of people know around the world. So very centrally located in a very beautiful Mediterranean climate, which means very mild winters and pretty warm summers. So UCI is a top 10 public university in the United States. The city of Irvine itself has been ranked the #1 safest city of its size in the United States since 2005. So that is officially 20 years now that this city has been ranked the safest city of its size by the FBI. The University of California, Irvine, as well as all of the universities of California, are quite large. They are large public institutions that are typically research-based, that have everything from undergraduate to graduate, postgraduate. So we had about 37,000 students total in all of those environments in 2023. The economy of Orange County is ranked the 45th largest in the world. And Orange County, where we are located, is known as California's tech coast. So it's sometimes been referred to as the Silicon Valley of Southern California. So Silicon Valley is up north near San Francisco, but down here there is a lot of tech and industry. You may have heard of like Blizzard Gaming, Google and Amazon. A lot of these companies have locations down here, and it's a big hub for tech and innovation in Orange County as a whole. So this is our school and where we are located. We specifically here are with the Division of Continuing Education, which we sometimes refer to as DCE. So our portfolio of programs here are non-degree programs. So these are not bachelor's degrees. They are not master's degrees. They are non-degree. So there are different kinds of certificates and other academic opportunities that we represent here in this division. So I'm going to show you some of these. So these are our programs at the Division of Continuing Education at UCI. We do have English language training, in a few different formats. And then these next three ones are the ones that can lead to the internship experience. So our accelerated certificate programs are 3-month long certificates that tend to be business focused, but they're in many different subjects such as innovation management, creativity and product development, business and operations. And these are all listed on our website. But to give you an idea, students can complete an ACP within 3 months, and they are then eligible to take an internship experience. Now, what is special about the ACP and not these other two is that the ACPs have been approved for OPT, which is optional practical training in the United States. So if you don't know about this, this is work authorization for up to 1 year in the United States. Now, the way that you qualify for this, and this is set by the federal government, is you need to complete 9 months in this program. So the most popular way that students do this is they would take one ACP for 3 months, a second ACP for 3 months, and then the internship experience for 3 months. And this has then become a 9-month program. And after that, you can apply to get work authorization in the United States for up to 1 year in a full-time salaried position. So that is one option. And it's also not required. You don't have to do the OPT. You don't have to do 9 months. You can just do a simple one certificate for 3 months and be done. You can do a certificate and add on the internship experience. So there are a lot of flexible options there. Our academic study abroad program, this is kind of what you would think of as like a university exchange. So if you're currently in university, or if you are eligible for university courses, such as you've taken university before, you can come take classes in the UCI credit-bearing courses as well as with DCE. So you can take classes at UCI that have college credit attached to them for like a semester or a year. So when you're in that program, you also have the option to add on an internship experience. And then lastly, our Success Through Academic and Research program. This is where our team helps guide you for success in a degree program in the United States. So if you are interested in pursuing a graduate degree in the United States, our Graduate STAR program, as it's referred to, is a program that allows you to take courses at UCI and at DCE. They help you to find and research programs and help you apply to programs in the United States that would be a good fit for you. There's also a lot of preparation for standardized tests, English language tests that you would need, and they help you through this process to help you then find a graduate program that would best fit for you and help you prepare for that as well, so that you are a good candidate for schools in the United States. So those 3 programs, if you were to enroll or take, give you the opportunity to then take the internship experience program. So more information about that is on our website, but we really want to get into the meat of the international experience program, what that looks like, how it helps your career, and why it's so valuable for students. So I am now going to pass this over to Jay to talk about that program specifically. There we go.
Hello. Hi, guys. And now it's my turn to talk. So I'll be talking about our professional internship experiences program. As Kristen mentioned before, we also have this program, and the program provides academic and professional opportunities for international students from all over the world, to study at UCI, complete their programs, and participate in American workforce. So we are bridging the gap between classroom learning and professional experience. And next slide. Okay, so a little bit overview about our PI program. We also refer for Professional Internship Experiences Program as PI. So that's easier for students and for me too. So a little overview, duration of the program is 1 quarter or 10 weeks. It's almost 3 months. So 10-week professional internship with the businesses in Southern California. So that means you'll be completing your internship here in Southern California while also participating and taking one class here. So I'll be talking about it briefly soon. And the level for the internships, Axel is here. Great to see him. So it's the students. Some of them we have here, they don't have much of experience. They never worked before. They never had internships or they never been working. But we also have those students who actually have a lot of experience, some of them with a 10, 15 years of experiences in different countries. So different levels, to be honest, but it's okay if you don't have any pre-experience level to participate in the program. And talking about the eligibility, this program is open for students, just like Kristen mentioned earlier, for the students from Accelerated Certificate Program, as called ACP. We offer different ACPs in different fields: marketing, product development, business administration, data analytics, and so on, and also graduate success through academics and research. This is a G-STAR program and STAR programs. So these are the programs that are eligible, and academic study abroad program, we call it ASAP. So those students who come from these programs, they can participate in our PI program, Professional Internship Experiences program. And next slide. What we offer. So the program structure for the PI program, you will take two classes. Quarter one, it's a workshop, which is only one unit. And the purpose of this workshop course to prepare the students for the internship application process for the recruitment period. So you can secure your internship placement. And I want to mention here, so it's not set on the slide, but we do have our host employers. We have different employers, about 100 different employers who work in our network with the university, and they post their jobs, and our students prepare for this process to interview with them. So it's pretty much ready and done for you. So all you have to do work really hard on your curriculum topics, so such as resume and cover letter writing. So you'll take one class during the quarter one while taking your ACP course. You learn how to write a resume, how to write a cover letter, and you'll prepare for your interviewing skills and including mock interviews. Our student just completed their mock interviews yesterday, and we have volunteers coming that interview our students and ask them all the questions and make sure it's very similar to the real interview. So, and our curriculum includes all these components. So also our curriculum topics include professional communications, networking, and internship search and application process. We use a platform called 1220. So later in the program, students learn about 1220 and learn how to use it. Once our students are placed for their internship, quarter two begins when students complete their internship, and they have to take internship course as well while completing their internship. So that's a 6-unit course, and the purpose is to engage in learning through the internship. So students complete their internship. They work about 20 to 35 hours a week in the different workplaces, different companies, and also they're completing their one class that they have to take with the 3 meetings. And the curriculum topics, it's a hands-on experiences, how to work in American culture, how to be professional, how to understand American etiquette, and to make sure that students are prepared to the real world scenarios. So these are two in our program, 2 classes that students have to take while they prepare for their internships. And next. Okay, so here's some benefits also to mention, talking about the PI program. So it's a professional skill development. You will learn how to craft your American style resume and cover letter. You'll also have real interviews, including the mock interview with our volunteers who are professionals in their fields. And also you'll have a real world experience working for American companies. We work with different companies. Some of them can be law firms, some of them can be in business analytics or in marketing. So our companies that we work with are completely different depending what kind of ACP you are completing. And of course, the most important part to mention is a cultural exposure. And you learn how to work in American business culture. You learn what it's like to work with Americans and their styles and their etiquette and so many different things. So there are a lot of benefits coming from participating in this program. And now we are going to pass it on to Axel. And if you have any more questions, we can discuss it in a bit. And here's
Hi.
Axel.
Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Christine. Hi, Florencia. Thank you so much for having me today. Can you hear me all right? Is it all good?
Yeah, sound good.
Yes. Hi,
Great, great.
Axel. How
Awesome.
are you?
Good, good, good. I'm doing really good.
Okay.
Thank you for inviting me today. I think we have 29 or close to 25 participants, I guess. Welcome you all. Happy to be here. Happy to be sharing my experience with you guys. Thank you for the introduction, Jay. And if I don't have any specific questions from you guys, I might just go ahead and start sharing my experience with you. I'm originally from Peru. I'm 25 at the moment, and I came to UCI in 2023, probably middle of the year, close to June. And well, technically, I started to do the first ACP, second ACP, and then following with the whole path, I continued into an internship that I'll share a little bit more about in just a couple minutes. And then now I'm in my OPT, working 1 year in an American company, and also grateful to be a host employer for UCI DC as well. So we keep hosting more interns, and I'll describe a little bit more about my role as well. But yeah, happy to help, happy to provide some of my knowledge, my experience. How did it go? What are the challenges? Because there are challenges, but I think as you may just keep being responsible and having your goals in your mind, I think everything is achievable. The first ACP that I did at UCI was international finance. It was related with my background. I had a bachelor's degree back in Peru in management and finance. So it was extremely helpful to get an understanding how did it work uh, in the United States. It's similar. Let me tell you guys, it's similar. There has some similarities, but there are also a different style of work that all the financial entities in the U.S. Have a different way to not just record stuff in the numbers, but also have a different way to do things. But I was able to get really good exposure on that ACP. We also do projects, capstone projects at the end of each ACP. So we were able to get even more and more research on American companies and how they run their finances all across the board. The second ACP I did was focused in data analytics. I'm not a heavy tech guy, so as Jay mentioned, you don't have to be a fully expert to go ahead and start taking the ACPs. You just need the desire of learning. That's what I wanted. I wanted to learn about data and analytics. I wanted to put that in practice in a professional environment. And I was able to go through probably 8 to 9 instructors that were really, really good with me. They understand the different levels across all the students that they used to handle. And so they were really patient. They teach me from scratch, and they were able to put a lot of knowledge in me that wasn't in there before when I came from Peru. All my background has been in finance, and getting an exposure in data analytics was great. And I think it awakened something as well inside of me just by being interested now into what is data, how do we manage data, what do we do with data. I know data is really powerful, extremely powerful today, and it had to do a little bit with the job that I actually doing at the moment. So I'm glad I chose data and analytics. After my second ACP, I went ahead and took the internship as the third program of my whole ACP career path, let's call it. I was really grateful that I was able to find an ACP internship into the university that was related with my major. So I was related with finance. I worked with the university colleagues that I saw my instructors every day as well. It was great. It was really fun. I was able to meet people that I saw just in the hallways all the time, just running and working and everything. I was able to meet them. I was able to work with them. I was able to understand how the educational sector of the companies work. It's completely different to regular companies, let's say. I think education is it's a great industry, and also it's really interesting what you can learn out of just taking 3 months into that internship. I was pretty much doing finance, and I won't get too much into the detail of that, um, but it was good. It was good putting it on practice, my bachelor, my ACP, and then my internship. Being able to connect those three, it was a great experience. Um, I was able to learn a lot of people, get good introductions. Networking is good, and then that's how the internship went. It went really good. It went great. That's actually how I actually end up meeting Jay, and then well, having good relationships with Jay and everything opens opportunities. You guys don't have any idea, but it does open some opportunities. I finished my internship and then I went and started applying for OPT. Uh, I was really well lucky, and I also took the opportunity when I saw it and land the current job that I'm doing at the moment. And as I mentioned before, we're a host employer from UCI DC. We're continuously receiving interns from UCI in a quarterly basis. Same deal, they do the internship process in here. We teach them, we give them exposure to most of the departments that I'm able to in the career, at least in the company, I would say. They are able to learn about logistics. My job is purely logistics. Global transportation is not specifically related with finance. My title is business analyst manager. And I have my team of interns, I have my team of business analysts, and some business development department as well. It's in summary, I do logistics. I oversee a team at the moment. The interns are part of my team as well. We cooperate all together to facilitate sales processes and also operational processes. That's the function that they're helping me with at the moment. I'm still learning. I think every day I learn a different thing. I learn from them, they learn from me. So it's a great experience. I'm enjoying it a lot, and I'm more than happy to reply any potential questions that you guys may have.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Axel, for sharing with us your experience at UCA. I was wondering before going ahead with the questions of our audience, if you could tell us something about your experience from being from South America. What was there a huge impact for you when you moved over there? Uh,
I would say from and I probably forgot to mention this. I was living in the States 2 years before that, but I was in
okay.
Colorado. So when I moved to California, it was kind of like a big change as well. The weather, first thing, we're not below 30s anymore, below 20s. We're like sunshine and all great. So I like the weather a lot, but other than that, the culture I think is different as well. The people are different. But if I would have to compare South America and when I come into here, it was a big impact. But there's and I always like to describe this as a whole timeline. I think the first month it's always the honeymoon period where you like the culture, you enjoy the culture, then you start seeing some challenges probably in the next couple months. But at the end, you stabilize, you adapt to the culture, you learn about it, you start extracting the parts of it that you enjoy, the ones that you share. And then at the end of the day, if your vision is aligned with the people that you're working on, it's completely great. At the end of the day, we're all people, we all understand each other, and regardless languages and everything, I think sharing the vision when you're working with people, when you're studying with people, it has been a great experience coming out of South America.
Okay, great. And I imagine you had classmates from all over the world, right?
I did, yeah, I did. Most of them, well, different countries, yeah, all within Asia. Some classmates from Europe as well. I was luckily able to meet a guy as well from the same city that I came from. He's from Lima as well. And as I mentioned before, opportunities they come in different ways, in different shapes and forms. And I met him back at school, and now he's working with me as well. So it's
Wow.
it's it's great.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So, Jay, Christine, Axel, are we ready to move on the questions? We have so many questions that
Yeah,
um, our guests have been asking during the
yeah,
presentation. I saw you have answered some of them, but we are going to um, ask them out loud, just in case someone has the same doubt. Okay. So in terms of visa, do you have some hints or helps to get the visa? I know that applying for ACP programs qualify to receive the F1 visa. How does it work?
Jay, do you want to answer or
Um, yeah, well, I can quickly
either way?
answer to this question. Yeah. So basically, when students are applying for the ACP program, our international students, and I don't know exactly quite like process how it works. So I believe Kristen, right? Students are back home in their countries and completing their application. Actually, Axel knows the process because he's done that, and that qualifies them to go to embassy to get their F1 visa, and then that's how you come to the US.
So the way it works is you first thing you do is you apply to a program in the United States. And then once you are accepted, so for instance, when you apply to any of our programs and you're accepted, we will then send you not only your acceptance letter, but what is called a Form I-20. That is what you take to the embassy in your country to get the F1 student visa. So the application, the acceptance packet would also include all of the details and instructions for how you get the visa with that form. This also might be a good time to let you guys know, if you don't, of Education USA. Education USA is United States government representatives in your country. So they're obviously in mostly major cities, but they have presence in almost every country in the world that helps students go to schools in the United States. So these offices are totally free services. Anyone can go in, ask questions, and their job is to help guide you into the United States. So if you ever needed any resources and help in your country, they're also really good because they might know specifically any issues with your local embassy, if there are like certain deadlines or if it's backed up and stuff. They're a really great resource to help you with your specific situation. So in short, you apply to our programs, get accepted. We send you all the documents and instructions to go get the student visa in your country that you would then enter with.
Okay, thank you for your answer.
Long answer, yeah.
That was a
Okay.
better response than mine. Thank you, Kristen.
Okay, I have a question for Axel. Okay, what kind of advice you can give to a prospective student? It's a wider question.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. So if I would have to give an advice, it would be probably try to align probably the programs same as way that I did. I think it's good also if you also choose different programs, if you want to learn different things. But I think having them aligned with probably your previous background and then defining what kind of company you would like to work, what kind of activities you would like to do in your day to day. I think that'll be probably the first advice that I would give someone before starting the whole ACP internship and OPT career path. That'll be the planning. Understand what are the choices available for you, what are your options, what are the probably learn a little bit about like the companies that are in the network of UCI. Just probably you may find a name that you may recognize and you're like, okay, great. I didn't know they were partnered with this specific company. And then start planning. If you can align two good ACPs that would give you a solid background to go ahead and do the internship, and then you are targeting already a couple of companies. I think that's in my opinion the value of all this path is trying to make everything work and aligns with your previous background with your previous background and also with what you want to do, what you want to learn in an American company.
Okay, thank you. So Ethan from Lima, Peru, okay, is asking, how could I go to study in the United States? And he's studying law. he's in his third cycle, and he wants to know how he could generate himself to go and study there. Okay.
Well, obviously there are a lot of different options and avenues, and I can speak for us directly here at UCI DCE. Because our programs, like I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, are not degree programs. They are not undergraduate or master's degrees. They are non-degree. These actually have a lower barrier to entry. So simply applying to our programs, whether that is the English language programs, the accelerated certificate program, the study abroad program. We have an online application that does have an application fee, requires a few documents such as your passport. You also need to provide a bank statement for the visa purposes. And then they would send you the documents to get your visa. So obviously, if you're studying law and law is of interest to you, UCI does have a law program. Those tend to be a lot more competitive, also a much higher price point. So that's why a lot of students are growing in the non-degree sector, like where we are, because you can get certificates from industry leaders. You can get the career experience here in our internship experience program, and then even possibly get OPT and stay and work in the United States for up to a year. So that's just one option through us, but obviously there are hundreds of schools in the United States that would have different pathways for you as well.
Okay, great. Also from Peru, okay, an engineer asks if he can do an internship over there. Is it possible?
Yeah, I can go ahead and answer. So, if you're an engineer and you have a degree back home, you can qualify for our ACP program. You still have to take ACP courses. It's a shorter certificate program, just like we mentioned. That will qualify you to complete unpaid internship that we have here at DCE. That's another 1 quarter, 10 weeks. So let's say you will complete, if you would like to do OPT, paid internship for 1 year, like Axel, he's doing his OPT right now. You would have to complete two ACP certificate programs, and after that, internship, unpaid internship for 1 quarter, 10 weeks, and then you can do OPT for 1 year. So that's a pathway we have. So I hope that's not too confusing.
Okay, no, it's perfect. So Jonathan is telling us that he graduated from two courses. One, he's a secondary teacher and a licensed teacher. And then he did nursing, but haven't taken NCLEX. I'm not sure what it means. So he wants to know if you offer nursing writing courses.
So as of right now, we do not. I can say that our position at the Division of Continuing Education, we are always trying to expand the kinds of bridging courses and preparation courses that we offer. And UCI does have a medical school and a school of nursing. So that is something potentially in the future. But I can say that we don't have one right now, and I couldn't say when it would be available. But you could always look at the UCI main campus website to see if the School of Nursing specifically offers that.
Okay, thank you, Kristen. So another guest is asking from Guatemala. He's studying system engineering and asking if he can OPT.
I think I could answer this one probably. Yeah, I think pretty much the applications for all the specific courses that we have are pretty good. And I think if you're doing engineering, systems engineering, there's a couple of courses that you may find interesting. There's one that I did, which was data analytics, and I know there's one that it's also a little bit deeper into what engineering or system engineering is. That I think it was data science. So there's definitely courses that you're able to apply to. And just remember that if you're taking those two courses, your internship is going to be aligned as well. And then, of course, if you want to go ahead and explore OPT, as you mentioned, your OPT is going to be also aligned with systems engineer. So I think there's plenty of room for you to take that opportunity at UCI.
Okay, thank you, Axel. So from India, okay, Satadipa is telling that she's an NYU alum, and she's asking if there is an internship possible in clinical research.
Okay, I can go ahead and answer this question. And Satadeepa, thank you for your question, first of all. And so actually the way our internship program works, we work specifically with our ACP program, and we offer 10 different certificates, right? So these 10 different certificates, they are in marketing, in product development, data analytics, data science, and so on. So what happens is when you do your internship with DCE, your internship has to align to these ACP certificate programs we have. So, so for example, if you are doing, so in clinical research is going to be a little bit not aligned with our ACPs, but whatever you studied previously, you can apply to one of the ACP certificates, and your internship can be aligned to the ACP certificate. I hope that makes sense. So the way we work, our program works, internship. So the courses that you complete here at DCE, your internship has to align with them. So for example, if Axel studied for data analytics, and now his internship is related to data analytics. If he studied for marketing, then his internship has to align and it has to be in marketing field as well.
Okay, thank you so much. So Vasiva from Fiji Island would like to know, she's graduating on April, an advanced diploma in leadership and management, and wants to know, would like to do an internship, sorry, and wants to know if you provide scholarship or financial aids. Okay.
So, because our programs are non-degree programs, they're actually not eligible for financial aid for international students from us. We do have one very limited scholarship, but it does require that you already complete a course here. So essentially, if you were to take for like an ACP, you could then apply for a scholarship for the next quarter that you're doing. But it is pretty competitive, and I don't know if we guarantee to even offer that scholarship every quarter. I can say though that because we are a division of continuing education and non-degree programs, our programs are a lot less expensive than degree programs themselves. So many students are drawn to certificates because they are much less expensive than master's degrees, but they still give you education from the researchers who are relevant in the field, from the instructors, and the like internship work experience and things like that. So I obviously, like, it still can be very expensive for students. I don't want to say that it's just easy for anyone to do, but these tend to be much more affordable for students who want to come to the United States. So I would recommend maybe looking at our website and seeing what looks feasible for you with our tuition and fees. And then if you were to come, there is the possibility of applying for the scholarship for continuing courses once you are here.
Okay. Antonio Gamboa, he tells us he's an university technician in software engineering, and he has 1 year of work experience, and is wondering if he can participate.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, you are eligible for our programs. Yes.
Okay. That's your answer, Antonio. It's fine. Okay, so Alejandro is asking what are the main requirements, for example, level of English or other specific tests to enter to this program.
So I'm going to speak about the certificate program specifically because that is the most common one for students who are doing the internship. Now, if you remember from the beginning of the presentation, there are other programs that you can take to get to the internship, but those ones also require higher levels. But I can tell you with the certificate, you do need to complete the online application and submit copies of documents. Um, and then you do need a certain level of English. Now, the requirement is different depending on which program you are trying to go into. But we accept so many English language tests. I can't even keep them all straight. And I don't know if Jay, you're able to look up on our website like the exact one of the scores, maybe to give an example. Um,
Yeah, I do know we take Duolingo, we take IELTS, we take TOEFL. There's so many different tests, standardized
Kaplan
tests that
test
we
of
accept.
English. Yeah.
Yeah,
And so that would be the biggest requirement that most students are concerned about is their test of English for it.
Yeah, if I can add something, I do have like the website next to me, so I know they're it's like TOEFL. I know I did the Duolingo one when I was applying, so it was quick. It was not. I mean, it's gonna be dependent, of course, of your level of English, but I think that's the one that I think it's easier and available to all of us. That anyone that has pretty much a phone or a laptop can just take the test, then submit the request, and it asks for a grade of 95 in Duolingo. That's the one that I personally take, and that's the one that I prefer, to be honest. But there's a bunch of tests that are acceptable to the application process.
Yeah, and actually, I can just add a few. For the internet-based TOEFL, the score requirement for certificates is 71. For TOEIC, it's 685. For IELTS, it's 6.0. I can also let you know too that we do offer English language training here. And so some students, if they want to work on their English before they go into the certificate programs, which is very common and totally possible, you can take our English language training program first. And then as long as you complete our level 5 out of 7, you would then not even need a test of English. You would be able to go straight into the certificate program following that.
Wow, that's amazing. It's
Yeah.
nice. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Where can I find more details about accelerated certificate?
Great question. So everything is on our website, of course. And I don't know if there's anywhere I can type, but we are CE as in continuing education, ce.uci.edu. And to go to the ACPs directly, it would be ce.uci.edu/ACP. Oh, is it on my slide right there? ce.uci.edu international. I also want to point out our phone number there, and then that email DCE/coaches. These are our DCE enrollment team coaches. They are great. They are so friendly and nice, and they are so helpful. If you wanted to call them with your specific situation, you can tell them, this is what I've done. This is my level of English. What programs can I do? I want to get into the internship program. How do I do it? Help me figure out the best way to it. Our coaches are there by phone or email and can help you specifically with your exact situation. So that's a great resource as well. And of course, feel free to look around our website. All of our information is up there. All of these details about tuition and fees, the academic calendar, eligibility requirements, all of that is there as well.
Okay, thank you, Christine. Now, what are the key differences between ACP programs and traditional degree programs at UCI?
So, in short, the big differences I would say are time and cost. So, master's programs, even an accelerated master's program, you probably need a minimum of a year to complete. Now, that is a master's degree. So I'm not gonna sit here and say the certificate is the same as a master's degree. It's not. But In today's society and the way that employers and other schools are valuing education, certificates can be so valuable to show a very specific specialty. Our certificates are quicker and much less costly. And you also are getting all of this information from professionals that are in the field. So you are getting quicker information, more updated information. Master's degrees that last a year or two, it takes longer for the curriculum to update because they're lasting so long. Our certificates can be updated every 3 months to account for what is changing, putting in new AI technologies, folding this into what you're learning. So you are getting really great relevant education. You are also still networking with other students and professionals in these fields. And it's a much lower barrier to entry, like I mentioned before. So these are not master's degrees, but these still can be so useful and relevant in today's society where we're looking more at the technical skills, not so much the research and theory. We want to see that you've done it, you know it. A lot of, self-taught coders and things like that. The certificate can be a great way to pivot something that you may have a specialty in, or to even start a new career. So we have a lot of students who have maybe they were in business, but now they want to really get into finance, like they want to specialize in that. So this certificate adds on to what they've done and can help them hone in on that specialty in a much quicker, less cost of entry like format. So I don't know if anyone has anything to add to that, but that's kind of how I see them.
Okay, thank you. And I just add, can students participate in research projects or collaborate with faculty on cutting-edge studies?
So the way that this question is phrased and how I'm taking it, I'm actually thinking no. The United States can be very strict about who can partake in specific research labs and things like that. And for the purposes of our university, like our Division of Continuing Education and our programs, we're not adjacent to these labs, and students might need specific clearances and requirements, or even sometimes they're different visas. There might be like research or J visas that are needed, and we do not have that in our division. I can say that students do in our programs interact with the faculty who lead some of these kinds of things. So while they might not be able to like join their labs while they're here with us, they do still interact with these faculty and learn from them, and even have potentials for networking or coming back in the future. So sometimes just making those connections is something you can do with us. But as far as like the clinical research in labs, it's usually not allowed through our offerings.
Okay, thank you. For Axel now, in your opinion, Axel, what makes UCI's learning environment unique, and how does it enhance the student experience?
Great. From a learning perspective, I would say the first differentiator probably, as I mentioned, it doesn't matter, or regardless the level of knowledge that you have in specific courses in specific ACPs. Let's say I didn't know a lot of coding, to be honest, computer science, and when I joined into data analytics, they were patient with me. They were able to teach all the students with different levels. I was sharing class with a person that was completely professional in the field. On Instead of that pushing me like back or something, I think he was able to also help me out, and he was learning as well. So regardless of the level, I think the instructors are really well prepared to adapt to that level, and then also put knowledge in the table, regardless on how much you know about the specific topic. That's probably the first thing that I would say that makes the difference. You're gonna find a lot of people that has probably less experience, more experience, but you will learning together, growing together, making the connections. For me, it's really important making connections, and I think that's the second differentiator on the learning experience at UCI. I also remember we used to have these Fridays. Every Friday there was an event downstairs, and you're able just to join them, meet more people, meet more students from different ACPs, I used to joke around because it felt like probably high school when all the kids go down to the break and then they all just talk and play between each other. Same thing. They do games every Friday, so I think that's the second point, the connections that you're able to make at UCI.
Okay, thank you, Axel. Before going to the next question, I'm going to answer to Antonio that is asking if this webinar is going to be uploaded at any platform. Yes, the answer is yes. Tomorrow is going to be uploaded on YouTube, and you will receive it on your email also. Okay. Um, Now let's move on. We have so many questions today. Speaking about housing, Angelo asks, will UCI offer in-campus housing for international students, or will we live off campus during the duration of the certification and internship programs? Thank you.
So there are a few different options you can actually find on our website with accommodations. We work with having recommendations for you for a few different options. So there are a lot of different homestay options if you're interested in staying with a local family. There are the nearby apartments that students are most popular for students to stay in. And during the summer quarter, so only during the summer quarter, you usually have the option to stay on the on-campus dorms. So this information is on our website. Some students mix and match. Some students stay with a homestay one quarter, and then the next quarter they go to an apartment. The apartments that are off campus are most of them are actually quite close. They are walking distance or with students can bike. We also have the UCI shuttle that goes around to take students from very popular locations onto the campus. And a lot of it is just very commutable. Axel, I don't know if you want to share your living experience.
Yeah, awesome. What I did, it was I just sent the link across the chat. I'm not sure if you guys are able to see it, but the one that I utilized personally was the off-campus website of UCI. The UCI DC specifically, they have partnerships with different families where you can do homestay. Now, homestay, if I would like to explain a little bit that a family is gonna, they usually have extra rooms, and that's where they ask you to just allocate yourself and leave for the time that you're doing your ACP. That's how I started. My first quarter was actually one homestay. And then the second one, I moved to a different one because I was joining my brother. My brother also came with me, and I was able to be with him in what just one homestay. So it was quite funny, quite interesting. For the third one, I think that's just the next steps. If you guys are gonna do OPT, that opens up the possibilities to just looking for a different possibility of housing. Just renting. Irvine company is a really good company, but I think it depends on the longevity of your thinking state and in California at least.
Okay, thank you. So, Husam asked a while before, if he can work while taking the internship. Is it possible?
That's an interesting question. So, actually, because your internship is considered work, you can only complete your internship for the immigration purposes. And because you are still F1 visa student with the I-20, so our students do not actually work, they only complete and commit to the internship. Once you completed our first unpaid internship for 10 weeks, then you qualify for the OPT. That's your official work where you can make money, you can earn money, just Excel and just like Axel, and yeah, and work. So Axel is our working professional right now. He also our host employer. And nowadays I send our new interns to Axel to work. So to work with him. Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
I
the
think
answer is no.
if I can add something else as well, those 3 months of unpaid internship, the way that I saw that, because it's challenging, let's be honest, it's challenging, but the way that I saw that is what's the value that I'm getting out of these 3 months? It's not just the knowledge, it's not just learning how an American company performs, day to day, but also the people that you know, the instructors that you talk, the supervisors that you interact every day. That's the main value. And if you just take a look back at the end of the day, there's more value sometimes on that, even it's debate, but you can just take your internship. It's gonna be quick. It's gonna be 3 months, and then you're up and running for your OPT in case you would like to go ahead and take it.
I
Okay.
actually would like to add a little bit more in here. A
Yes,
lot of
sure.
times when we do have our host employers who work with us here with UCI during the internship period. And when we have those hardworking students like Axel, right? So for me as an internship manager, when I see potential students who can be great OPT students, I really try to connect our employers and students. And that's how I felt very confident about Axel. And he was a superstar intern in our program, and I really wanted to connect him with other employers who are open for the OPT options. And this is kind of what he said. It's a lot of opportunities, it's networking, and as we do understand, it's an unpaid internship, and for a lot of students, it's a taking a risk to complete a unpaid internship with us because you're actually paying, right, to be part of the unpaid internship. Kind of doesn't make sense because internship has to be paid, but it's a very short time. But in this short time, you learn so much during this period, right? You learn how to be professional. You learn how to work in American workforce. You learn how to prepare all these skills and adjust. And these 10 weeks, they give you a lot of opportunities to network, to get to know the industry, to connect with people, and which can lead you to OPT. And if you're doing a great job during the OPT, if employers really, really do like you, it can actually lead to green card and work authorization in the US. So potentials are huge in here. And it all, of course, starts with investment in yourself, although it's unpaid, but there are a lot of opportunities. So this is the reason why we brought Axel to this panel, because he's a great example in our success story in this case.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, and I think if I would have spent my 3 months of internship like working in another job, I wouldn't be able probably to meet the people that I know today. I was probably wouldn't be able to also meet with Jay. So I think internship are good and they're go quick. The schedule also is not that heavy. You guys don't do 8 hours like 6 days of the week. It's not like that. So you have a bunch of time to prepare yourself for what's coming next, which is the OPT.
Okay. Moving on, I have a couple of questions related to pricing. Okay. They wanted to know if about the costs of the programs and the budget that students should have.
Great question. So referring to the certificate programs, because again, that's kind of the most popular one. Each certificate is 7,900 US dollars. And then the internship experience program is 2,900 US dollars. Now, when you are applying, you do have to show a minimum amount in your bank account. And this is a number that's actually set by the government for getting your visa and showing that you can support yourself while you're here. And that can depend on what program you sign up for. Because if you sign up for like 3 certificates right away, then that cost is going to be more. But if you were to sign up for just one certificate, then it's less. And I believe the amount needed to show is about 14,000 in a bank account for one ACP. It sounds about right. People are nodding. But our website also has a breakdown of all the tuition and fees that you can expect. So there is an application fee. There is a student services fee per quarter. We have a very robust student services life and activity every day, every quarter, every month. There could be books and resources depending on your certificate. And then there are the like the estimated expenses for just living here. So all of that's broken down on our website depending on the program that you're interested in.
Okay, perfect. And what about age? Is there an age limit to apply to these programs?
No
18.
age limit.
I think you
Oh,
need to be 18,
maybe
maybe 17, but we don't accept 16 and under for sure, I know.
Okay.
That's a good point. I was thinking about that we have students of different age range. So in the internship program, sometimes I have students who are 18, 19, and then I have students who are 50 years old. So when it comes to that, it can be a different age range, but at least you have to be 18.
Okay, perfect. So before going to the enrollment questions, because we have a few, Kendall asked if you have master's degrees in computer security, since he's a system engineering.
The UCI, University of California, Irvine, they might, but we are actually only representing the Division of Continuing Education, and our degrees, by definition, our programs are not degrees. So just here at DCE, we do not offer master's or bachelor's or PhD degrees. We just do these non-degree programs that are English language, certificates, study abroad exchanges, and preparation type programs. But I believe that we have a certificate. It's not in security, but we do have like data analytics, some things that might be relevant, but not master's degrees.
Okay, perfect. So to end with, we have some questions about enrolling. I would like to apply. How can I enroll? Is one question. What are the important requirements to enter the university? Okay. And where would I have to send the documents to enter? Okay.
All tied in together.
Yes.
So our application is all done online. And you would be able to find that on our website, of course, everything that's on the website these days. The requirements will depend on the program that you are interested in. They have different requirements. I can tell you for the certificates, you would need to fill out the online application. You would need to submit an application fee. You do need to submit a test of English. And like we mentioned, we accept so many different tests of English, and the requirements are listed on the website. And then certain copies of documents. So for instance, they might ask for like a copy of your passport, bank statement, things like that. And excuse me. All of this is done on our online application portal. So you will create your account, apply to the program, and then our student services team would help facilitate getting the documents. So I believe there are places on the online application directly for you to upload these. So it's all a very safe encrypted site that is only for your specific like profile. But it's all done on our online site and with our student services team.
Okay. I think we have ended with all the questions. I hope, I'm sorry, Hussein asked just 30 seconds ago, what's the name of the YouTube channel? You can find us at YouTube by Dog City, okay? We are going to upload this video tomorrow, and you will also receive it on your email. Don't worry, you can hear it again. And of course, you will be able to ask all your questions, any other questions you have to our speakers through email. You can contact them or throughout the website of the university. So to close up, I would like to thank you all to our fantastic guests to enter being here at the webinar. Thank you everyone for joining us and for your questions. I would like to remind everyone interested in receiving a certificate of attendance by Dog City that you can click on the link and I have just sent it on the chat. Okay, so you can request it. And before we say goodbye, I would like to ask our panelists if they would like to leave our participants with a message. Anything you can add?
I can just say thank you guys so much for attending and for your wonderful questions. A big thanks to Jay and Axel, who is currently working and came to share his experience. And I really would like to remind you of our DCE coaches. the phone number and website that you see. They're a wonderful resource for figuring out your situation specifically and how some of this might work for you. And find an Education USA office in your home country. They're also able to help you apply and come to the United States.
Okay. Thank you, Jade. Thank you, Christine. And thank you, Axel. And thank you again, everyone, for being connected with us today. I hope to see you again in the next webinar organized by Doc City. And goodbye. Have a good day or a good night, depending on where you are.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for
Thank you.
attending.
Bye.